Kashmir has returned to international headlines after a brutal attack at the end of April in which 26 tourists were shot dead. The victims, mostly Hindu men and one Christian, were visiting the resort town of Pahalgam when they were targeted by terrorists. The incident has sent shockwaves across India and reignited tensions between India and Pakistan over the long-disputed Kashmir region. Following independence from British rule in 1947, Kashmir became a flashpoint. Princely states were given the option to join India or Pakistan, or with limitations remain independent. The Maharaja of Kashmir initially hoped for independence, but amid increasing unrest, he signed the Instrument of Accession to the Indian Union. This decision triggered decades of conflict over control of the Muslim-majority region. While China controls a smaller area in the east, the primary dispute lies between India and Pakistan. Years of insurgency, cross-border tensions and internal unrest have claimed tens of thousands of lives. India's security response has involved a constant military and paramilitary presence in the region. In operations aimed at rooting out militants, security forces have often been accused of excessive force, contributing to the trauma and mistrust among local Kashmiri population. Despite these tensions, tourism has grown steadily. In 2024, Jammu and Kashmir drew 3.5 million visitors, up from 2.67 million in 2022. Yet the recent attack threatens the fragile progress. A group called the Resistance Front claimed responsibility for the killings, sparking grief and outrage across Hindu-majority India. Officials quickly pointed fingers at Pakistan, accusing it of supporting cross-border terrorism. Pakistan in turn denied involvement and called for an international investigation. The violence has spilled over to the India-Pakistan border. In days following the attack, the armies of both nuclear-armed nations exchanged gunfire. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cabinet responded by suspending the Indus Water Treaty, a decades-old agreement critical to both nations' water security. India also closed its border with Pakistan, halted trade, revoked visas, and expelled Pakistani diplomats. Pakistan's National Security Committee responded with similar measures: border and airspace closures, trade suspension, and a threat to withdraw from all bilateral agreements, including the 1972 Simla Agreement. This treaty governs the line of control, the de facto border between the Indian and Pakistan-administered areas of Kashmir, and underpins peaceful dispute resolution efforts. Pakistan's threat to suspend it marks a potentially grave escalation. The region's demographics reflects its complexity. According to the Joshua Project, Jammu and Kashmir has 14.4 million people, 66% of whom are Muslim, over twice the Hindu population. It remains the only Muslim-majority region in India. Christians represent just 0.2%, a tiny but enduring presence. Historically, the people of Kashmir have embodied a unique spirit of tolerance and pluralism, known as Kashmiriyat, where religious diversity has been embraced and discrimination rare. The Christian heritage in Kashmir is both rich and deeply rooted. In the 1880s, two English missionary doctors, brothers Ernest and Arthur Neve, dedicated their lives to serving the people of Kashmir. Based in Srinagar, they worked tirelessly through 5 cholera epidemics, treated tuberculosis and eye diseases, introduced vaccinations for cholera and smallpox, and shared the Christian message through compassionate care. The medical institutions they established, including the Kashmir Mission Hospital, now the Government Chest Disease Hospital, and the Kashmir State Leper Hospital, played a pivotal role in improving public health. Christian missionaries were also instrumental in advancing education in the region, although not without some resistance to the Western educational model they introduced. Today, although the Christian community in Kashmir is small, it stands at a crossroads of great opportunity and responsibility. As hate, unforgiveness, and suspicion cast a shadow over the land, believers have the chance to shine the light of Christ. In a climate of fear and division, the local church can point neighbors to Jesus by displaying the fruit of peace and hope. As the enemy seeks to drive a wedge between Muslim and Hindu communities, believers are called to be ambassadors of a different kingdom, one built not on revenge or nationalism, but on reconciliation, truth, and love. Let us pray that tensions will not escalate and leaders will pursue peace. for comfort for grieving families and lasting peace for Kashmir, for the Church to rise above division and reflect Christ's hope and peace.